Hi, in this video we'll take a look at the new Market Intelligence dashboard in daytradr version 6. It's available in daytradr this week and it will be available in Journalytics next week. The goal of this dashboard isn't to change the way you trade, it's to help you understand the market you trade much better. Now most people understand charts and order flow, but not really what makes their markets move. And I think in some ways there's an analogy to economics. But imagine if you totally understood why your market was moving up today and what hurdles will pop up during the day. That would be a huge boost to your trading. Now in traditional prop firms, not the online ones, traders understand the interrelationships between markets. So if interest rates change, they know how that's likely to impact the S&P 500, oil, gold, currencies, etc. So in effect, these traders have got two skills. One's an economic one, the ability to understand and predict the outcome of news, and the other is the ability to read the charts and order flow and enter the market. Now with this dashboard, we're going to give you the key information for each market and an interpretation of whether that's positive or negative for your market. And we're going to do that with very, very simple and easy to understand English. So you no longer need to understand the economics, we'll do that for you. So we'll tell you at the start of the day what the likely impact of recent news is, as well as the likely impact of events that will happen later in that day. So you'll end up learning these relationships a little bit like the way you learn the characters and their behaviors in a Netflix series. Now in many traditional prop firms, traders are briefed at the start of the day. Researchers are finding out what's going on at the start of the day, and that's something that could easily take you an hour every day per market. And that's also something that you won't have to do anymore. So not only are we going to help you leapfrog the need to learn economics of the markets, but we're going to do the morning prep for you every day. So this isn't just information, it's interpretation, saving you a ton in education and a ton of time at the start of each day. Now before I show you through the different sections of the dashboard, just let you know, this will be updated at 9 AM Japan time for the Asian traders, 8 AM London time for the people in Europe, 6 AM, 7 AM and 7:45 AM Chicago. And we will be bringing in intraday updates later. So first, let's look at the sections, is the overnight market summary. Giving you an update on the moves that have happened overnight since yesterday's close. As you can see today, there's concerns about the AI bubble bursting. Then it goes through session themes, strategy. Strategy here is really new specific strategy, not something probably for technical traders, and then key risks for the day. Now if we switch to corn, keeping with a looking back theme, we have recent news. Now just note the times of the news are the times in your time zone, not the market. Then we've got the red, yellow and green dots being the importance, with the red being the most significant and green the least. And the arrows show you whether the news is good or bad for that market, and this is where the magic comes in. As you can see here, it says gold moving higher, a spotlight shifts to Fed minutes and US jobs data. But what does that mean? Well, if we click here, we can find out. So what it's telling you here is both why this news is relevant, but also why it's particularly bullish or bearish for your markets, right? So why is it important? And is it something that will make your market go up or down? Typically, right? Typically, we can only give you typical reactions. Sometimes the market will just do its own thing. Then we have European and US economic events. The times, obviously my time here in Thailand, there's no arrows yet, but for items that have been released, we'll see bullish or bearish in impact here and a red arrow or blue arrow here. And of course the magic again, why this is important and what it means if you get a better or worse result. Now the risk calendar is actually different for each market. We just click through them. You can see every risk calendar is slightly different. And that's different because each market has different events that are relevant to that market. So even though the schedule events are the same for each market, the risk calendar is different. The action plan basically tells you what to look out for and when, And you can print this out, have it by your side. As you can see, the action plan is also tailored for each market too. Now at the bottom is yesterday and today's prices and flows, which is a slightly longer term look at things like COT data and flows into and out of ETFs. Now there's a couple of ways to open this. You can open it from a chart. You can either click here to see it within the chart itself, or you can click there to open it in a browser window. This is information gathered for your market and interpreted for you. Now the markets don't always react in the same way each time. These are typical reactions, and so do confirm any trades you take to make sure that the reaction is playing out as expected. And like I say, you don't have to trade differently to use this, but this can just keep you out of a lot of trouble if you are just a technical trader. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that feature.